What's up guys, it's Drac, and today we are reviewing the NERF Limited Star Trek Universe Blaster set. Now, this will set you back $120, and repeat after me, we do not pre-order from major corporations. It benefits them in that it lets them have all of your money, and they have no responsibility to provide a decent product. And I think that this is gonna be a perfect example of that, but we will see. For $120 and a very long wait, you could pick this up. Now the wait is over, and clearly the pre-order didn't mean anything because you can just buy one and it ships immediately. So this is the NERF Limited Star Trek Blaster Kit. On the back here, you can see we have the crew. We've got some Cybermen. Cybermen are called the Borg in Star Trek, for those of you who are new nerds. Here we've got all of our Enterprise officers and what have you, and then it looks like the sleeve is just gonna kind of fall apart. And that's not bad for a display piece. I know that some people are gonna buy this just to display it, and I think that once you de-sleeve it, this would look pretty handsome on a shelf. Maybe not, no, that comes off. Yeah, I mean, that does not look bad. It looks like a weapons rack that you could pull it off on the Enterprise, maybe minus this twine, although I bet it would just sit in here like this. But this is the phaser. It's really not come with batteries at that price point. For real? For real? For real? Instructions, disclaimers, nothing? Okay, great. And then the back, you know, we have the Borg on their ship, nothing on the bottom. Yeah, so overall, very, very handsome open deco here. Let's go ahead and get this out. So it is a 2-pack. A lot of people were disappointed that they could not buy just the phaser, because the phaser looks like it would be an inexpensive and pretty cute little blaster prop. But the target for this is definitely Star Trek fans, not necessarily NERF fans. But Hasbro had the license, so they made the product. That's how they've been operating recently. Let's see, here we have some instructions, and the phaser is gonna be really tiny if it fits in this box. It looks like it does. Phaser and darts here. Opening this up, we see we have some very neon darts. They are elite darts, which, you know, it gets exhausting saying this every video, but you really shouldn't be using elite darts. They are the bottom of the barrel for full-length dart standard. This shows how the Type 2 phaser works. Is this for real? This is cute. Unbelievable. What a great way to maintain the kind of in-universe look. And this one is not Borg corrupted. The biggest complaint people have with the Type phaser, the rifle here, is that it's got all this like Borg, cyber, you know, digital, cryptic disease. So unfortunately, this is not a deco that comes on and off, right? I mean, it is permanently tribbled, but what are you gonna do? It also doesn't come with batteries, which is a little frustrating. There are 2 sets of switches, presumably one is for the blaster's main function, and then one is for the lights. Let's go ahead and test out the Type 2 phaser here, and it's got this really cute prime where it pulls out like so, and then click, and then back in like that, and then it's got this button here. Presumably this is gonna be jolt levels of performance, but we'll fire up the old chronograph, find out. First a level shot. Yeah, 22 feet maybe. Then you gotta squeeze it out, pop it back in, and did not register. That's always a good sign when it doesn't register on the chronograph. Let's try one more. Yep, so that is not a very hard firing blaster. Let's throw some batteries in this and get back to it. All right, so while the ergo is actually quite good, the blaster feels really good in the hand, I do want to point out the placement of the batteries underneath translucent plastic is just incredible to me. How do you make something that's all about being a prop, and then you make it so that anytime you're using it, you see the Duracell logo through the stock? Now, this is really good lighting for videos, but really terrible lighting to showcase just how awkward that is, that you've got like copper top, black body, copper top, black body going through your stock now. It's just a little funky. Now you've got 2 switches over here. This one controls, I believe, nothing. This one does nothing. This one was supposed to be the control for the top. Does it require this to be in try-me mode? So if we, there we go, lights and sounds, and nothing is happening because the rev isn't on. Oh, there we go. Now we've powered up the scope. So I guess that you just have to have the blaster at least in the try-me mode. So the 3 different descriptions of this switch are back is off in both cases, then all the way forward is on, and they don't really describe what the try-me mode is. Display mode will automatically shut off after 2 hours. So this mode in the middle here is genuinely for the blaster to be on the shelf or in the box or on display and just light up for 2 hours and then turn off. A little silly to me because it's not like it's something that you could, I guess you could network it into your lights in your room if you're a big collector or something. But if you're a huge collector and you're doing custom electrical work for your display, you have a better phaser than this. I don't know, this is a really weird one. Normally I would say that the tie-ins with NERF Limited are like a great compromise between prop and function. This one feels like more function than prop, and it's really given up a lot of the collectible prop aesthetic by having the Borg Crisis all over it and then just really lackluster collector's features. But all that aside, has an internal magazine here underneath the foregrip, fits up to 5 darts. Let's go ahead and put some of those in if you've used any of the Star Wars blasters or you remember, you know, dart tag. Pretty simple mechanism in there. Internal magazine go, switch all the way forward, transforming us into fire mode. Let's rev it, see if it does anything fun. I guess no, the lights just pulse. And then let's put a couple over the chronograph here. So semi-auto, each trigger pull is gonna put one over. And while the chronograph is not registering the neon darts in this lighting, wait, what was that? Okay, so that's like a reload sound. It's got a few different reload sounds in it, controlled by a switch down in here, which I assume also is a safety switch. So, you know, I mean, a well thought out blaster. You've got 3 blinking lights on this side, not a bit of paint on it outside of the Star Trek logo here. Now, they get away with that by having really good industrial design on the blaster itself, no doubt taken from, you know, the Star Trek universe directly. You've got your warning labels on the backside, which is, I guess, where the ugly batteries are too. However, I just think that there was a much improved way to accomplish this entire design. Without actual FPS readings, I will tell you that we're getting single stage flywheel performance. The flywheels are flat and, you know, it's got a lot of barrel drag. So I would expect an FPS of about 60, and that would be in line with the drop off in ranges there. However, you know, for $120, you're either enough of a Star Trek fan that this is worth it for you, or you're, I mean, it's just a weird place, right? If you want a really good blaster, you're not buying either of these. They're both pretty poor blasters, although this one would be modifiable. You would still be limited by the 5-dart internal magazine, and this is a joke. However, if you're a big Star Trek fan, you know, Etsy and eBay are littered with better options for phaser props at reasonably similar price points. So it's just, I'm not 100% sure who this is for, which is probably why it took so long to get out of the NERF Limited pipeline and into customers' hands, because I don't think that anybody was really all that excited about it. And that sort of captures kind of how I feel about it. I mean, it's fine. It's a 2-blaster set for 120 bucks that's oozing Star Trek flavor. It comes in handsome cardboard packaging, but as opposed to, you know, a lot of these collaborations like the Halo collabs where I think they're just awesome. I do enjoy Star Trek. I just feel like this isn't delivering on the cylinders that I really want it to. If I want a phaser, I'm gonna get a real phaser. They have phasers that are universal remotes that are a better deal than this at this point. And you know, if you want a blaster, you can get a blaster for a 5th, a 6th the price that does far more than either of these are gonna accomplish. So, you know, not even a really solid cosplay option, in my opinion, because I just think that there's better. Star Trek is such a time-tested and well-costumed world to play in that there's so many better options out there. So as opposed to most of my reviews of the NERF Limited stuff, usually I think they're really cool. The Aliens rifle is amazing. The Mandalorian rifle was a huge disappointment, but I love the Mandalorian enough, and it's such a unique shell that there wasn't really a better option for the Mandalorian rifle out there, the Amban rifle. This is not anything new, though I really feel like this one you pass on until inevitably they decide to empty out the warehouse and it drops down to like 50, 60 bucks. But, you know, that's my hot take. We'll see what Black Friday brings. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and may the force be with you, always. Quote Gandalf from Firefly.